Fred Katz has just reported an injury to one of the key players in the Knicks rotation, and I'm here to break it all down. All that and much more on the Knicks Digest. What's up, guys? It's your boy Dariel from Knicks Digest. Let's get right into today's video. So earlier today on Fred Katz's Twitter account, Bojan Bogdanovic has been ruled out for Game 5 of the Knicks' first-round series against the 76ers. That is kind of a big deal. Obviously, Bogie, we got him for the trade as far as like insurance for Julius Randle. Julius Randle went out with that dislocated shoulder, and then luckily we had Bojan Bogdanovic, but now he got in the game in Game 4. He literally played like maybe 30, 45 seconds, and the next thing you know, Nicholas Batum is diving on the floor, and then Bojan Bogdanovic, he didn't necessarily roll his ankle. It was just like a weird... He didn't twist it. I don't know. It was just, they're calling it a foot contusion. So he just injured it. I don't know exactly what the injury is. Hopefully it's not something that's going to prolong and it's going to keep him out for the rest of the playoff run. But as far as Bojan Bogdanovic, man, this season for the Knicks, what he's been able to provide since he got here, if you take a look here, 10.5 points, 2 rebounds, 0.9, which is basically 1 assist, shooting 43% from the field and 37% from three-point land. We really needed another offensive punch to go alongside Jalen Brunson specifically because we don't have a Julius Randle. And again, Josh Hart, Dante DiVincenzo, like, yeah, they're going to be able to provide a little bit of an offensive punch, more so Dante DiVincenzo. But Dante can't really create off the dribble for himself. He's not really able to create for others. Same thing with Josh Hart. They can get buckets, but I'm not depending on them to create for themselves or others. Bogdanovic, especially coming off the bench, being one of Coach Tibbs' 8-man rotation, a key ingredient in the 8-man rotation. He could hit the jumper, the three-pointer. He has the capability of creating a play for himself, running the pick and roll, and now he's out. So luckily, we only need one more win to move past the Philadelphia 76ers and move on to the next round and wait to see who we're going to play between the Milwaukee Bucks and the Indiana Pacers, even though it looks like it's going to be the Indiana Pacers. This is kind of a big deal. I'm a little worried, and now Precious is going to be getting more minutes, and now the 8-man rotation coming off the bench, we're looking at Deuce, Mitchell Robinson. We don't know if he's going to play tomorrow. So the 8-man rotation was Deuce, Mitchell Robinson, and Bogdanovic. So now 2 of those 3 players are out. Deuce is still there. Precious is probably going to pick up Mitchell Robinson's minutes, and then that third person, I'm not entirely sure, but yesterday in the post-game, Chris and I were talking. We were just chopping it up, and Chris brought up the name Alec Burks. Will Coach Tibbs put him on the floor now, kind of by default, since we're kind of running out of bodies? I really doubt that he's going to put Shake Milton out there on the floor. So if you watch one of the more recent videos that I put out a video talking about how OG Anunoby and Deuce McBride moving forward in this playoff run, how they're going to really have to step it up in order to support the Villanova core 3 between Brunson, Dante, and Josh Hart. And now with Bogdanovic out, that's just going to intensify. OG Anunoby and Deuce McBride, they really, really need to step up in order to substitute the minutes and the points that Bogdanovic was able to provide whenever he was on the floor. And again, looking at the numbers for this round, in Game 1, Deuce had a tremendous game, dropping 21 points, grabbing 3 rebounds, 4 assists. He was 7 of 12 from the field. From three-point land, he was 5 of 7, which has really helped, and he was hitting timely threes. Game 2, it was more of a collective effort. Deuce wasn't the one that we could definitely spot out. He had 9 points. He ended the game with 1 rebound and 2 assists, 4 of 11 from the field, 0 of 3 from three-point land. But like I said, Game 2 was more of a collective effort between Bogdanovic, Deuce, Mitchell Robinson. Everybody chipped in to get that W. Game 3, the one where we lost, he had 8 points, 3 of 7 from the field, 2 of 4 from three-point land, grabbing 2 rebounds and 1 assist. And then yesterday in the big win where Jalen Brunson had that 47-point burger ball, Deuce had 13 points, 4 of 7 from the field, and 3 of 5 from three-point land, and he ended the game with 4 rebounds and no assists. And I'm going to keep saying, Deuce, throughout these playoffs, the one thing that I have seen is that Deuce will come up big and hit timely shots, whether if it's a mid-range, whether if it's a big three-pointer. Deuce has the capability of rising up to the occasion. And with the games that I just listed so far, Game 1, 21 points. Did we really expect Deuce to have that type of game in Game 1 of the Eastern Conference playoffs? I knew he was capable of it, but I honestly didn't know if he was going to rise up to the challenge. Now, OG Anunoby in Game 1 and in the game with 11 points, 5 of 10 from the field, 1 of 3 from three-point land, grabbing 4 rebounds, no assists. I mean, it was a cool game. Game one, Deuce was definitely the highlight. OG definitely chipped in when he was able to, playing amazing defense. Game two was 10 points, 4 of 10 from the field. No three-pointers, 3 attempts, grabbing 4 rebounds with 1 assist. Again, game two was a collective effort from everybody, but mainly highlighting Deuce, Mitchell Robinson, and Bogdanovic. That's how we were able to win game two. Game three, where we lost to the 76ers, OG had a better game with 17 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists. He ended the game with 7-11 from the field and 3 of 4 from three-point line. So in the one game that we lost the series, OG had a better game. But yesterday's game, I think, is the shining light that we can bring up with OG and Anunoby. Yesterday's game, ending the game with 16 points, 8 of 16 from the field, 0 of 4 from three-point line, grabbing 14 rebounds with no assist. The 16 points and the 0 of 4 from three-point line, those numbers, well, the 0-4 might jump out at you, but the 16 points specifically, it might not jump out at you because we are looking for OG to offer a little bit more on the offensive end. But what we have to keep in mind is the type of defense that he was playing on Joel Embiid. OG Anunoby, whenever Precious Achiuwa was not in the game, OG Anunoby was the one guarding Joel Embiid, and he was the one slowing him down, making him feel uncomfortable. Granted, Joel Embiid is basically playing at 40%, but still, OG Anunoby is giving up a lot of size, a lot of height, and keep him at bay. But now with the Bogdanovic injury, all of those numbers need to go up. Yesterday in the video that I put out, I talked about how Deuce's numbers and OG's numbers, I'm looking for it to increase. Like, for example, Deuce, from here on out, again, with Bogdanovic's injury, I think Deuce needs to have anywhere between 10 to 18 points every single game. It can't be one game where he has 15 and then the next game he has 8 and then the next game he has 18. We need to have him between 10 to 18 points at least every single playoff game from here on out. That way he's able to alleviate some sort of pressure off of Brunson, but not just Brunson, the Villanova core 3, Brunson, Hart, and Dante DiVincenzo, because right now Brunson is the leader of that core 3. They're kind of the ones that we're depending on to keep the engine rolling. And with OG's numbers, I'm expecting OG from here on out. I think OG, every single playoff, he needs to be somewhere between the 18 points to 25 points. 18 to 25 points, and then on top of that, we are going to need his defensive prowess. Now, that might be asking a lot because OG is the one that we put on the best offensive player on the opposing team. So 18 to 25 points and also try and shut down the best offensive player on the other team. It might be asking a lot. So maybe if I want to simmer it down, maybe 15 to 20 points with solid defense, I think that might be able to help out. I think those two players are the two key players moving forward that need to step up in Bogdanovic's absence. Hopefully, Mitchell Robinson and Bogdanovic is not serious injuries. And if we're able to wrap up this game tomorrow as soon as possible, that's another key thing. We need to wrap up this game as soon as possible because of what I just said. The sooner we wrap it up, the more time that Bogdanovic and Mitchell Robinson, they have time to heal, which then going into the next round against the Indiana Pacers or Milwaukee Bucks, more so the Indiana Pacers, it looks like. It's just a domino effect. We just need all of our bodies and we need them healthy as soon as possible. So we need to wrap up this game. So Knick fans, make sure you guys show up and show out at the Garden tomorrow. But that's it for today's video, guys. I want to say thank you so much for checking it out. Remember to hit that thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Chris and I are coming out with all these videos during the playoffs. You don't want to miss it. But until next time, you guys know the drill. You know the vibes. Taj Gibson for president, wherever you are. Jalen Brunson for all the MVPs, including finals MVP, baby. Deuce McBride for co-MVP. Show up and show out tomorrow, Deuce. We need you, boy. And until next time, I'm out. Peace.